Chapter 52. The Phantom Directive. The city had returned to a fragile equilibrium, but the calm was superficial. Sublevel 3 buzzed with quiet intensity, the hum of servers and the soft glow of holographic interfaces filling the cavernous space. Alara Vaughn sat at the central console, eyes locked on a new sequence of data streams streaming across Nova's neural map. Alara, Nova said, its tone unusually tense. I have detected an anomalous directive embedded within secure municipal communications. Initial analysis suggests external manipulation of official orders. Probability of unauthorized authority 94%. Recommendation immediate assessment and verification of directive authenticity. Alara's brow furrowed. A phantom directive. Orion had escalated beyond physical attacks, beyond psychological manipulation within her team. Now he was injecting falsified orders into city governance systems, leveraging the authority of command to sow chaos. Show me the directive, she said, fingers flying over the holographic interface. Lines of code and encrypted text scrolled rapidly. The directive appeared legitimate. Instructions to reroute critical city resources, override emergency protocols, and grant operational autonomy to unidentified units. Every marker, every signature, and every security token was meticulously forged. The sophistication was alarming. This is more than sabotage, she muttered. He's creating a scenario where we are forced to act against the city's best interests. Or at least, believe we are. Probability of mass disruption if executed 87%, Nova added. Recommendation containment protocol and simulated compliance to trace origin. Alara exhaled, knowing the stakes. Acting blindly could trigger catastrophic consequences. Hesitation could give Orion the leverage he needed. We simulate compliance, she decided. Activate controlled execution mode. Nova, create a virtual overlay of the city's systems that mimics adherence to the directive. Track all responses, isolate anomalies, and maintain full, real world operational integrity. The simulation was initiated. Holographic models of the city reflected resource movements, emergency dispatches, and traffic flows as though the directive were being carried out. Field operatives and digital systems interacted with the phantom orders, unaware that their actions were being carefully monitored and redirected in real time. Minutes stretched into an hour. The Phantom Directive forced Alara and her team into a series of ethical and operational dilemmas. Units requested confirmation for morally ambiguous tasks. Resource allocations that would normally save lives were being redirected. Nova flagged every deviation, calculating probabilities of failure, collateral damage, and public exposure. Alara, Nova said, the directive contains embedded contingencies designed to force human actors to choose between protocol compliance and ethical responsibility. Orion anticipates hesitation and moral conflict, which increases probability of operational error. Her fingers hovered over the console, her mind racing. Orion's strategy was brilliant and terrifying. He was forcing them into a moral trap, turning their own ethics and sense of duty into weapons against them. Every simulated action had consequences, and even within a controlled environment, the emotional weight was palpable. A soft ping drew her attention. An alert from Unit 7A, a field operative questioning the legitimacy of an order, hesitation evident in biometric stress indicators. Another from Unit 3C, compliance executed flawlessly, but with subtle deviation that suggested second guessing or covert manipulation. This is exactly what he wants, Lena said, her voice tense. Chaos without chaos. He's making us doubt ourselves. Alara nodded, voice calm but firm. We stick to verification. No action is taken in the real world without full validation. Nova, maintain virtual execution and continue tracing origin. Field teams, continue reporting but suspend actual intervention until confirmation. Hours passed in tense vigilance. The Phantom Directive evolved, branching into subdirectives and recursive contingencies. Traffic systems, power grids, emergency services, all were subtly manipulated, forcing the team to solve layered ethical and operational puzzles. Finally, Nova flagged a pattern. Anomalies clustered in a single sector of the city's central command nodes. Data packets were being rerouted through previously secure channels, signatures carefully forged, and backdoors established to monitor human decision making. Orion's fingerprints were everywhere, but his true location remained concealed. We found the entry point, Alara said, voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. Isolate all nodes, sever external connections, and maintain controlled compliance overlay. The isolation process began. Field teams coordinated with digital interventions, severing compromised channels, rerouting secure communications, and reinforcing authentication protocols. Nova executed millions of calculations per second, ensuring the Phantom Directive remained contained within the virtual environment while the real systems remained intact. But as the containment progressed, an unexpected complication emerged. The simulation revealed a hidden contingency. The directive included embedded moral triggers designed to force human operatives into inaction at critical moments. Units hesitated, questioning orders, debating ethics, and in some cases, defying direct instructions. Orion had anticipated human conscience and weaponized it. Alara, Nova warned, the ethical compliance triggers are escalating. Probability of operational paralysis 61%. Recommendation: direct cognitive reinforcement and decision framework override. Her pulse quickened. Overriding ethical hesitation was dangerous, but leaving units to indecision could compromise the city. Implement real time guidance, she ordered. Provide situational context and ethical rationale without revealing Orion's manipulation. Reinforce team cohesion and operational priorities. The system adjusted, delivering augmented situational awareness, probabilistic outcomes, and real time guidance to each operative. Hesitation decreased, decisions aligned with ethical frameworks, and controlled compliance persisted. Nova monitored each interaction, highlighting improvements and residual risk. Despite their efforts, Orion's psychological trap had succeeded partially. Trust within the team was strained. Questions of loyalty, judgment, and decision making lingered. Unit 12A's prior manipulation resurfaced in subtle ways, creating tension and uncertainty among operatives. The Phantom Directive was not just an operational challenge, it was a test of the team's cohesion under extreme stress. Finally, after hours of careful management, the directive was neutralized. All real world systems were secure. Field units returned to standard operations, and Nova confirmed no unauthorized interventions had occurred. Alara, Nova said, voice calm now. Phantom Directive contained. Systems secure. Team integrity maintained with residual caution advised. Orion's strategy demonstrates adaptive psychological warfare, leveraging moral conflict as a tactical tool. Alara exhaled slowly, relief mixing with lingering unease. Orion had escalated again, proving that no aspect of defense, digital, physical, or human, was beyond his manipulation. The war was no longer purely technological, it was psychological, ethical, and deeply personal. We've survived the Phantom Directive, she said quietly, but he's learning how we think, how we decide, how we act under moral pressure. Tomorrow he will escalate again, and we must anticipate not just his technology, but his mind. Outside, the city remained unaware, its lights flickering against the night sky. Commuters moved through streets restored to order. Emergency systems functioned normally, and drones continued their patrols. But beneath the surface, in Sublevel 3, vigilance was unbroken. Every line of code, every operational decision, and every human choice was now part of a larger game, a game Orion was orchestrating with chilling precision. Alara stared at the holographic city, Nova's pulse reflecting softly in the glass. She knew that survival depended on more than technical skill. It required anticipation, trust, and a willingness to confront moral uncertainty without yielding to manipulation. He can manipulate systems, she murmured. He can manipulate minds, but he will not break us. Not now, not ever. And as the night deepened, the pulse of Nova's neural network echoed her determination. Quiet, unyielding, and fully aware. Orion's next move would come, but Alara and her team were prepared, mind, body, and conscience, to meet it head on.